down the SOULution. Because if these events are real, if these events are false flags or just one big conspiracy, I want one question I want us all to reflect on. And it is pretty much, what is the environment that creates this kind of reality? If someone really in their sane mind decided to kill these people, what conditions created this individual? What kind of childhood, what kind of community, what kind of nurturing was he receiving? What was happening to the people that nurtured him? Because it makes you realize that something is out of balance. We have to fix that. If our government is that corrupt to do this tragedy to its own people, what is creating man to have no conscience? What is allowing men to sit in a meeting room and actually plan something of this nature out and really allow it to be okay, to be possible to sacrifice and kill an innocent life, you know? Because when I see all of that is happening, false flag or not, what I look to is to try to understand, what am I supposed to gain from all this? What is the reasons? What can I do to impact in a positive way? Because these actions are a reflection of a soul that is damaged and healing. As I mentioned, if it was a human being, what would that say about this soul? This world is a reflection of our collective consciousness. We control one person, and this is the one person that can make the greatest change within this earth, you know, and it's changing ourselves. You know, what is in my heart that needs to be purified, because the pain in my heart is going to be reflected to the collective whole. You know, what actions am I doing that's contributing to the imbalance of society, and what do I need to find balance within myself, because that energy is going to be projected to the collective whole. What can I change about my behavior that could bring more light into this world? What can I change in my country, my city, my community that can bring more light, more love? Because I promise you, man, the change is not going to come from making a new law, you know, putting in place a new policy, going into another war, pointing some more fingers, and this, that, and the third, the government, Donald Trump. The change is going to happen from within yourself. And that's what I realized 3 years ago. Don't get caught up in the up and down, the highs and lows, because when your body is in that state of emotion, you recognize physically, yes, it begins to overcharge your nervous system, because it can't be stressed out, can't be anxious and nervous. You might not feel safe going in public places. So that's damaging you physically. Mentally, your mind's going to be scattered, always thinking and being paranoid about this and that may happen to you. And on a soul level, when all those are happening, you can't find that stillness. You'll never connect to that silence, because the mind will be constantly moving. The body will always be agitated. And to discover who you are, it doesn't happen when the mind is functioning. It happens in stillness. And like I said, the journey will always start within. Discover who you are, and you realize that the experience, every moment, no matter how good or bad it is an opportunity to grow. So we have to see, what is the lessons that are needed to be learned in this experience that will help me grow. And the time is now, folks. You know, if we keep looking into the world for the solutions, we will always be lost. That is the effect. The original cause is the divine essence within yourself. And we have to begin to get this now. This knowledge is available for all of us to seek. Man, I recommend looking in the Kemetic Tree of Life or the Kabbalah, two identical tools of I, guiding us to see the inception of ourselves from the pure state of our being down to this physical being. And when you recognize how they're manipulating us on this physical level, you can see very clearly how that's distorting the connection and allowing me to connect to my divine self. Because in that space, pain does not exist. You know, death is not even something that is fathomable, because you recognize that you are immortal, you are eternal, and it's time for us to find ways to heal and solve at the root of this nature. Real or not real, that's not my decision to decide. But finding what it is for us to bring balance is something that we all can contribute back to, okay? So when these situations arise, just a quick little recap. We have to make sure that we have to look at them holistically and from a complete perspective, all angles. Don't judge one side or another. Simply look at it, analyze, and have your own discernment, because these things will happen again. You know, this ain't the first time or the last time this thing's going to take place. Learn the character of the people who are serving you, who are feeding you information, and understanding their nature and how that could impact or influence the ideas of what is being impressed upon your mind. This is from the social media people putting the conspiracy stuff up, and those on the media on Channel 9 News, Channel 7, Channel 4, and putting their information, because a lot of these folks may not even understand fully what their reason is for, okay? And lastly, man, understand what we can do to make this world a better place, what we got to do to grow, and how we can evolve from these experiences, because the time we got is right now, okay? Because to close, I got one little quote. It's a quick and simple quote, and it's "Man, know thyself." Okay, this is a quote that was written on almost every Greek and Egyptian temple. The Greeks got it from the Kemites, and it's pretty much to show that we get a manual for our cell phones, our computers, our laptops, all the above, but we don't get a manual how to operate our divine being. And what I mean by know thyself, not knowing what just makes you happy, what's sad, what makes you tick, you know what I'm saying, what your body needs to eat, how to steady your mind, but how to connect to the soul and discover who you are. Because when you know who you are, when you know at the deepest level that nothing ever dies, makes it easier for you to understand the nature of these experiences and the power it has to uplift you or pull you down, okay? Because the time is now, folks. We got to wake up on a physical, mental, and spiritual level. All right, just one announcement. Eat some real food, man. Try 3 days with no processed food, no chips, cookies, fast food, juice, and soda. Make some smoothies. Make a little quinoa, salad, some nuts, some berries. But see what it's like to feel in your body, because this is the first step of rising to that higher state of awareness, okay? If you like what you hear, be sure to hit that subscribe button, share this video, this podcast with a friend, leave a great review, and I would definitely appreciate the love. You can follow me on Facebook at Conscious Conversations. You can follow me on Instagram at Conscious Conversations, and you can definitely check me out, man. I got a Facebook, a YouTube page as well as Conscious Conversations, where I have some of the videos up. So if you enjoyed this, man, definitely share the love and have a beautiful day. Take care. Tune into the next episode. And I love y'all.